American 65, change tower runway 4 left short and line up and wait.
American 65, 4 left short, line up and wait.
Hello, I'm DerTebbers. This is your Flight Simulator X-Plane Spotlight. We are in Marseille, in France, aboard our Dassault Falcon 50 in the Celebrate Life livery. There's about 5 or 6 liveries with this particular pack. Link is in the description as always. It does have an air service cart. Yay, extras! Now, based on the picture when you choose the plane, it should also have a cover for the engine and some chocks, but I cannot find the... I literally didn't touch anything, people. I literally touched nothing and they just appeared out of nowhere. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, it's not chocks, it's things, but cones, those are the words I'm looking for. Nonetheless, here's our Falcon 50. I have her completely dark, even though you hear that whiny noise. She's dark. I've shut everything off. While we're sitting here, I just want to go through the shift buttons. Shift 1 gives us our full cockpit as necessary. Shift 2 gives us our overhead bus panels. We're going to bring those guys all up and turn on our beacon, anti-collision, and nav. Shift 3 gives us our comm panel and our flaps and our speed brake and such, our trim panel. Shift 4 gives us our GPS. 5 gives us our autopilot. 6 gives us some control yokes, and 7 that's the end of it. Let's go ahead and start her up. There we go. Bringing up R3 Garrett TFE 731-3-1C turbofan engines. These guys produce 3,700 pounds of thrust each. And there goes one of them. Now she's a tri-jet, obviously, because it looks like a tri-jet. Oh, yeah. It is what is considered a super mid-size long-range corporate jet. So there is the small, which is like an Embraer Phantom, which we will do eventually. There's the large, which is like the Gulfstream, the big Gulfstreams, which we will also do eventually. And then there's the mid-size. And a lot of the mid-size are stuff like the Learjet, which is in Flight Simulator X itself. But this is considered a super mid. And it is long-range, partially because of the 3-engine layout. It does have the S-duct central engine, much like an L-1011 or a 727, unlike a DC-10, which would actually have the engine mounted up in the tail. This actually has the S-duct running to that third engine. We have flap. We do have a little bit of flap. Nice. We don't need very much here because we have plenty of runway here at Marseille. All right, let's take her to the skies. Give us full power! Oh, look at the smoke. Ooh, she's a smoker. That makes sense, honestly, because this is a 70s aircraft. We're talking about some of the, older aircraft that smoke a lot, but are still beautiful airplanes. First prototype flew 7 November 1976, got a French airworthiness certificate on 27 February 1979. US FAA gave it certification 7 March 1979. There she goes. Nice extra view here. All right, we're going to roll back the engines because we're not going to go very far. There is an additional derivation of this aircraft. It is called the Guardian 50. It was developed as a maritime surveillance and environmental protection aircraft. So it served semi-military or even military roles. Now, the Falcon 50 was later replaced by the Falcon 50EX, which first flew in '96, and the last one was delivered in 2008. Now, there are successors to the Falcon 50. That is the Falcon 7X and the Falcon 900. They both have a larger fuselage, but have the same 3-engine arrangement. Now this 3-engine arrangement does allow for longer range operation, a different sort of operating profile than some of the early twin jet business jets. Now, of course, today we have stuff like the big Gulfstream 5s and the Boeing business jets, which are twin engined, but there's nothing like, and I've seen a few Falcon aircraft take off, there's nothing like just the 3-engine layout of the Falcon aircraft when they roar off into the skies. I have to say, there's just nothing else quite like it. Capacity of this aircraft would be 8 to 9 passengers. We would have a crew of 2, potentially even a relief crew if we were flying far enough, but chances are it would just be a crew of 2. Our maximum speed is Mach 0.86, that is 915 kilometers an hour, 494 knots, or 568 miles per hour, whichever figure you prefer. Our range is 6,480 kilometers, that is 3,500 nautical miles, or 4,025 miles, again, depending on whichever you prefer. So it is definitely a long range aircraft. It is not a super long range, but it is a long range aircraft that would be capable of hopping the Atlantic. Depending on westerly winds, you might have to stop in Reykjavik for a refuel, but you'd still be able to make the flight. Retail, wow, I couldn't even imagine what these things retail for. Let's just say, I'll never own one. Let's see if we have air brakes, actually. We do! We have the standard brakes on the top of the wing. Alright, we're going to try to land this guy. Alright, let's see if we can do it. Back at Marseille, just a little shakedown flight. Now, the nice thing about having an aircraft like this in your Flight Simulator X hangar is you have to admit that Lear 45, which comes standard with FSX, is kind of a boring aircraft. It's also a short-range aircraft. This would be a fun aircraft to add your hangar. It's not all digital, which is pretty cool. It's still got the old steam gauges because, again, produced in the 70s. We're going to go for the long runway here. Produced in the 70s, so a lot of steam gauges. That's pretty awesome. But definitely has the range of some of the airliners, which is a plus. And all the little clickable buttons. I like clickables. When you look at that overhead panel, not that, that, you have all these clickable switches and buttons, and I love it. I love that extra stuff that's thrown in there. You don't really get that with the in-game stuff. And the textures are so much better.
Sync rate.
Sync rate. Yes, I know. It's extremely high,
Sync
but
rate.
I will resolve that
Sync rate.
eventually.
Sync
Maybe.
rate.
Maybe. So the link is down below, as always. This is a Falcon 50, a Dassault Falcon 50. Certainly worth looking at if you want to add to your business jet hangar. Maybe dump that Lear 45. Don't ever fly that thing again. Take the 50 here for your long-range business jet needs. And man, if you ever get to fly on one for real, take the opportunity. I can imagine how awesome it would be to fly on one of these. Maybe the 7X would be better, but whatever. We're gonna maybe make this landing. God, look at the smoke trails pouring out the back. There's a little Beechcraft Baron that's trying to take off. Well, we're gonna bogart the runway on him. There we go. All right, we do, I believe, have thrust reversers on this thing. Yep, it's just a single engine thrust reverser apparently, or a single animated one anyway. Nice. I like it. I like it. I like the little extra details that it had when we were sitting on the ground. When we shut her down, she gets the little service truck. That's all cool stuff. It's extras. Now, it's not as cool as that Cessna egg truck that had the little button, or the Texan, the T6 Texan, but still pretty darn cool. And if you're looking for a nice super mid long-range corporate jet, the Falcon 50 might just be the one for you. Link is in the description, as I said. I've been DerTebbers. It's been your Flight Simulator Explained Spotlight. Until next time, happy flying, everybody.
Good evening, ATO 101 Heavy.
ATO 101 Heavy, good afternoon. Wind 0908, 4 right, split to land.
On behalf of the flight crew, thank you for flying with us and have a pleasant stay.